What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Moose Smoke Podcast. This is episode 134. 134. I mistakenly
Whoa.
thought it was 133, but no, it's 134.
Wow. That is a great story.
Just killing it with the numbers.
You're doing great.
Yeah, I'm Ryan. This is Matt. And we're going to be talking all kinds of MCU Marvel shit. What?
Doesn't that kind of look like my hand is like on a blue screen or something?
Yeah, a little bit.
Weird.
Maybe you're a ghost and I just never noticed. Spooky season's over. You have to be like a reindeer or something.
A spooky reindeer?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how Christmas works.
Instead of I have a red bloody nose.
Yeah, that's hot. How are you?
I'm okay. I've been fucking going like a motherfucker.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, got now that the studio is fully in my hands, I'm moving quick. So yesterday I finished wiring everything and cleaned everything up because it was kind of a mess in there from running wire and just shit. Yeah. And I kind of like tidied up all the extra wood that we had left because we have to still build like a drop ceiling. And then today I insulated everything, which is great. I did the first bit of insulation yesterday, and then I did the rest today. I just left all the panels out where there's electrical stuff because I don't want to cover it until the electrician sees the work. So the electrician comes on Friday next week. So yeah, by this time next week, I could probably technically do this in the studio, even though that's just empty. And
who cares? Do it anyway.
I'm not. No, I probably won't. It'd be too much work. But I could. That's the fact.
Oh, fuck you then. You know what? Mm-hmm. I was excited for you. Now I'm not excited for you.
All right. Well, then
I hope the studio never finishes. I hope it gets stuck in some kind of multiverse.
Oh, you know how much I hate a multiverse, right?
Boy. I changed the image for this episode to Pepe Sylvia from Always Sunny.
Oh god, I was wondering what that was from.
Yeah, because I just was like, you know what? To describe the MCU at this point, you pretty much have to be Pepe Sylvia. Like,
you need to put context into that because I don't remember it well enough. What is that? What is the reference for that?
That's when Charlie's in front of in the mailroom on Always Sunny, and he's
right when he's got the thing,
the giant cork board, and he's got the fucking all the yarn ties to all the little things, and he's like,
Pepe Sylvia,
Pepe Sylvia, Pepe Sylvia. I got so much mail here for Pepe Sylvia. I'm full of Pepe Sylvia. He's like, but Mac, the problem is there is no Pepe Sylvia. It's great.
Oh my god, that's the one where that's not. That's the one where they share the mailroom job, right?
Yeah, Mac's delivering the mail and Charlie's down in the mailroom.
I've been rewatching Always Sunny.
Season 4 or 5. It's really early. It's great. That's one of my favorite episodes.
There's too many good.
That and when Charlie was making the dating profile. Fucking love that episode too.
Oh god. What is it? What does he say again?
What are some of your likes? Ghouls. Little green ghouls, buddy.
Milk steak, isn't that what it says?
His favorite food's milk steak. And they're like, nobody knows what that is. He's like, oh yeah, write it down. They'll know what that is.
People know what it is.
Magnets.
Things
you dislike. People's knees. Cover your knees up if you're gonna be walking around. Great. Anyway, enough of Always Sunny. We got MCU stuff to talk about. We got the Loki finale. We got Matt seeing the Marvels. I have not seen it yet, so we'll keep spoiler free for that.
Yep.
And we got a shit ton of date changes for all the new release dates now that the strike is officially over.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Well, I guess it's not really official, but official. I don't know.
It's over, isn't it?
I don't think they've signed the ratification, but it's over.
Oh, right.
But, yeah, I think that's Monday, but it's over.
Nice.
So we've got lots to talk about. But first, we're gonna get into what we've been watching this week, what we've been doing this week, and how many pairs of socks Matt has on. I'm gonna guess 3.
None.
Oh, well, that's off. That's wrong.
I don't like wearing socks.
I hate socks too.
As much as possible.
Same, but it's 2 degrees out here, so
that's fair. By 2 degrees, I'm wearing socks. So
I had to wear socks. Yes.
Today I didn't wear socks, and it was 10 degrees, so still living pretty dangerously.
Yeah, that's good. 10 degrees is plenty. That's a lot of degrees.
I hate socks. My wife hates how little I wear socks.
Oh, I hate socks too.
She's like, your feet are like a caveman. I'm like, their feet. Like I'm not fucking eating with them, so
as long as she doesn't want to suck on them, you're good to go.
Yeah, no, none of that's going on, so we're good.
Yeah, then you're good to go. It's the same as I have the same opinion. Like if I had the option, I would never wear socks again.
Yeah, not a fan.
No. And people that sleep in socks deserve to be like punished.
Yeah, what's up with that?
They need to go to like the moon or jail or something. Like
I sleep hot, so
yeah, same. Really... I don't care if you sleep cold. You don't wear socks in bed. That's just absurd. That's what blankets are for.
Love a good blanket.
Idiots. Anyway.
Yeah, so this week, what did I watch? As I said, I was watching I've been watching Always Sunny. I kind of just started picking off a few episodes here and there, and then magically fucking now I'm all over that shit. So I also signed up for a VPN this week because some new rules kicked in with Canadian YouTube, and I wasn't able to watch Seth Meyers anymore.
Oh yeah, because the news shit, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Some kind of like law against like every like news feed has to have like a percentage of Canadian news or something like that. I don't know. I didn't get into it too far, but
that's CanCon, but like
I don't know that.
Yeah, it's something to do. I think it has something to do with advertising, but I don't know for sure.
Whatever. It's all stupid.
Yeah. Anyways, so I had to buy a fucking VPN just so I can watch my shows that I enjoy. So
yeah, I mean, I don't think you're really missing all that much, but I don't know. I mean, just tape them, get a VCR.
I don't have cable, so it's like I just can't watch them.
Get a VCR.
Yeah, I'll just tape them off of nothing.
Yeah.
So, like it's kind of like a nightly thing, right? I enjoy it, so it's like.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, I used to watch them all, and I just they became too much of the same.
I don't watch I mean, I shouldn't say that. If there's a good guest, I'll watch it. But generally speaking, I don't watch the guests. I just watch the monologues, and that's it.
Yeah.
So, and I pretty much watch like Seth Meyers, Stephen Colbert, and Jimmy Fallon. No, Jimmy Kimmel, not Fallon.
I hate Fallon so much.
I'm not a big Fallon fan, but I like Kimmel. So
I like Kimmel a lot, and I like Myers a lot. I don't like what's his face, but
Colbert.
Yeah,
I like Colbert the least of
funny.
The three of them.
Yeah,
but I really like. I think Seth Meyers is my favorite.
Yeah, Seth Meyers is amazing.
He's so funny.
Yeah.
So
I wish he would got the actual night show, but
yeah, that'd been cool. Maybe one day. But
did you hear that? What's her face is getting the late night show on CBS? Taylor Tomlinson.
Who's that?
She's a comedian.
Cool.
Female comedian. She's gonna be like the first female late night host.
Oh, cool. Yeah. That's cool, I guess.
I think it's dope. I like I don't know. She has a couple stand-ups, I think, on Netflix, but I think starting next year she's taking over like the 12:30 slot or whatever.
And who's she taking over for?
Well, because CBS doesn't have a late night show anymore.
So they're bringing it back, and she's gonna.
Well, because fucking what's his face, the English dude that everybody can't stand.
Right.
He's
carpool karaoke guy.
Yeah. James Corden.
That's the name.
Yeah, he's done. So.
Right, I knew that.
Anyway, enough of that. Yeah, no.
I watch.
That's good.
We kicked into holiday mode this week. We put up our Christmas tree yesterday.
It's November.
We like Christmas.
You people need to stop this bullshit. This is what's wrong with the world. Oh my god, it's November. Man. We don't need Christmas shit.
I love Christmas.
You can't put up Christmas trees up before fucking Remembrance Day.
I know. That is my rule, but I kind of let it go because it was like Friday night, and I was like, no, all right, I'll let it pass.
Ugh.
Yeah. That is generally my rule, though, but timing worked out. So anyway, so we put up our Christmas tree, and we watched Home Alone last night and Home Alone 2 tonight. That's kind of a tradition.
Home Alone 3 tomorrow night.
Nah, we stop at 2.
Home Alone 4 the next night.
Yep. What else did I watch? I watched Invincible, but I fell asleep at the end, so I need to go back and watch. I need to actually go back and watch both because kind of don't even remember what happened in the first one. So I'm like, I need to watch this proper. So I think I might watch it I don't know, Monday night or something maybe, and then be ready for the episode on Thursday.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not catching me as much as it's not as exciting as the first season was, I'd say, so far. But I mean, that could just be because I fell asleep this week. So
I mean, I'm having that same problem. Is like I fall asleep so easily now. It's
yeah,
ridiculous. I'm such an
yeah.
old man.
Well, the problem is you put yourself in this. It's not like you want to watch a movie with all the lights on, right? So it's like
Yeah.
you put yourself in a situation where like there's no
Comfy.
lights, you're comfortable. If
Yeah.
you're cold, you've got a blanket on you, and
Yeah.
that's it. That's all it
Is
takes. That's the
if I
recipe for falling asleep.
and if I'm sitting up, I'm okay usually, but if I lay down at all, I'm fucking out. Like
Oh, see, I would never lay down. I usually fall asleep sitting up though. So
I can, but like that's the only way I'll stay awake because I have to be sitting up. But like
oh really?
if I put my head down,
If I
like
was
if I
laying
get up,
down, I'd be game. It'd
yeah,
be game over. I don't even attempt to watch TV laying down. Like even on Saturday mornings, I usually watch Foosh Weekly when I get up. Like I like literally turn my alarm off and put the Foosh Weekly show on, and like most of the time, I like drowse off during a good portion of that. Like usually too, right?
it's so hard.
Yeah,
That's what
but
she said.
nice. And then yeah,
Got him.
obviously I saw the Marvels as well. Thursday nights. And
Go ahead.
spoiler free. Yeah, I mean it was fine. I don't know. Like it okay. At least it kind of like felt like an MCU movie, I guess.
Good.
But like it has like it maybe the thing I like the most about it is there's no multiverse talk at all, which is fucking wonderful. Like I guess till the kind of the very end, but like multiverse is like non-existent in this whole thing, and like we get quite a bit of we fill in quite a few gaps from like what Carol was up to from between like the first movie and Endgame and like to now basically. But yeah, like I like the dynamic between the three leads. The chick who plays Kamala Khan is like fantastic, like the star in my opinion. She's like for
That's what
sure
a
the
lot of people
best.
are saying.
Yeah, she's for sure the best part of this whole thing, and like her dynamic between with her and both Monica and Carol is like very fun. So
She reminds me of like how Tom Holland was when he first got Spider-Man.
100%, it's exactly that.
Yeah.
It's exactly that.
Like
Yeah.
she's just so excited to be a part of the world and like
Yeah.
universe and like stoked on it that she just has this like infectious excitement that makes you like love her.
Her family is back in it too, so
Right.
both her parents and her brother too, so that's also pretty funny.
Yeah, that's
But
awesome.
like areas that I think are like, you know, unfortunate, it's like I feel like Nick Fury is like kind of I don't want to say wasted, but it's just such a far departure from what he once was, and
Yeah.
it's just like yeah.
Now, do you
And
think
also
that's
this whole
just poor
this whole
writing, or is that because
maybe I think they just kind of resorted to using him as kind of like a parody, which is like
Mm.
unfortunate because he used to be like someone you could never put anything over,
right?
and now he's like
I don't know. I just thought maybe like he doesn't want to be a part of it really, but like he doesn't really have a like maybe Sam Jackson's just like, hey, I'm old and I don't really want to do a lot right now. So you know,
maybe I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's still like there's tons of like good bits. There's a good bit with the Flurgans with Goose again, like the cat.
Yeah.
There's a few like pretty funny parts with Goose in it, and like, but I mean, it still suffers the same things that like typical good Marvel movies do, which is like the villain is like super underdeveloped and like her lines are all like super fucking stiff and yeah, I mean like you know like by the end of it, I won't say like how it ends with her, but like you know it's just like so typical for you know you could call it from a mile away kind of thing, right? So but it was okay. Like I didn't, you know, I went in like being pretty hard on it. So like, you know, for me to actually come out and be like, oh, okay, that was actually like okay. I think that says I feel like that's good, but man, it's getting like obliterated though. It seems like everyone's just fucking hating it, which again, like it. I saw somebody say, "Look, if you don't have any attachment to any of those three characters, then you are gonna hate this, like for sure. Like that's the movie's about those three characters. So if you don't like those characters going into this, you're gonna not like this."
That and I think they're in a spot where if you didn't watch WandaVision or
Yes.
Miss Marvel, then you're gonna have no relationship with two of the leads, really. I mean, Monica
Hmm.
obviously was in the first Marvel movie, but like she wasn't like a big part of it, really. So you don't really have
Yes.
any attachment to these characters, and like Brie Larson has barely been done anything
Yep.
in the MCU, like really. So it's like
True. She's
it's
so
tough,
skinny. Oh my god, I can't believe how skinny she is in this.
really.
It's crazy. So skinny. There's some shots where you kind of see like her silhouette, and it's just like, damn, girl, eat some fucking meat or something.
Maybe she just got like ripped for it or something, and so she
Maybe.
lost weight.
Maybe.
Um, so would you put this in like the better half of like the recent movies, or would you say this is like
Yeah. I mean, at least this one kind of feels like an MCU movie to me. Like where it's like a lot of these haven't felt like that. But again, that could just be because there's familiarity in characters, right?
sure?
You know,
Yeah, I
like
mean,
oh,
I
here's
have seen a lot
somebody
of people
from
say that like if you're not up to date on MCU, this is going to be like kind of a chore to get through because there's a lot of like stuff in it that like if you're not really familiar with everything that's happening, like you're not going to really enjoy it. But I don't know.
I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, the thing is they do a pretty good job at walking through like whose powers are um
What?
like who does what and how they're all kind of connected.
Sure.
And I mean, really, I mean, the nice thing about Kamala Khan is like, yeah, it'd be great if you did see her show, but this is more or less just that again. Like it's just more of that. And it's just like her character's so enjoyable and fun that it's like it's not hard to like, you know, get behind the character that she's playing here because it's just like she's very entertaining and she's, you know, you kind of want to
Sure.
watch her, right? Because it's just like it's a fun dynamic to everybody else on screen.
Sure. Well, I'm glad you somewhat enjoyed it then.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously, we're gonna do a full spoiler cast next week. I haven't seen it yet. I'll be seeing it next Saturday. So next week's episode will just be all about the Marvels.
I would say
Um,
don't go in with like don't go in like thinking that this is gonna rock. Like, you know,
my my
temper your expectations, but
my
like
hype
see what it
level
means.
is getting
Nothing.
shaved by a barber.
Cool. So yeah. Yeah, you never know. So I'll be curious to see what you think of it. But I thought it was mostly okay. There's some cool stuff where like the theme that you know from the trailers, like they kind of talk about like a lot of it revolves around whenever they use their powers at the same time, they switch places.
Right.
So they kind of dive into like why that happens and like they end up using it kind of like as a not a weapon, but like they use it to their advantage and it's
Right.
pretty fun once they start like working as a team and like it's pretty fun, man. I thought there was some good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, from all the trailers I've seen and stuff, it really reminded me of the last Spider-Man movie too, and that like the three Spider-Man kind of working together,
Yeah.
type deal,
I
and like
didn't put it like that, but that it is that too. So
yeah. No, that's cool, man. I mean, I'm interested to see it, and I mean, we can. I haven't talked about what I watched yet, but I mean, we can get into this right now while we're on the topic of MCU. Is we got all the delays and everything now that the strike's over. So, um, let's see here. Next year we are only getting one movie. The
yep.
entire 2024 is just Deadpool now.
That's good though, man. We've been saying they need a breather, and that's what they need. It'll give them a chance to figure out what the fuck they're doing. And
Totally. So Deadpool 3 is now coming out July 26th. It's the only movie coming out next year, and then Captain America: Brave New World is coming out February 14th, 2025. Thunderbolts will be coming out July 25th, 2025. Blade, which was originally planned for February 14th, 2025, has been moved to November. And blah 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 blah. Fantastic Four remains slated to arrive May 2nd, 2025. So 2025 we'll get 4 movies, but next year we'll only get 1. So
what was the fourth movie? Fantastic Four next year?
yeah, no, 2025.
2025. That'll move though. That'll move. We won't get 4 movies in a year.
Well, maybe, but as of right now, it's staying 2025.
That's crazy. I can't imagine we would get 4, especially if they're trying to scale back. And
I don't know.
I hope they don't. I hope they don't taste success and then go and then like hit the fucking gas again. Like I hope they don't have 1 or 2 that like do well and then they're like, okay, back at it. Here's 15 shows and
I don't think they'll do the shows. I honestly think that they're going to really cut back on the shows more than the movies. I think if I was to guess, that they're gonna have like 2 tentpole shows a year. I would say they're gonna want like a winter season show and a fall season show, like 8 episodes each or something like that, that are gonna kind of tie into what's happening right now, but aren't big enough for like a big screen type deal. So
Sure.
I could see them keeping Daredevil there. Like I could see them, that kind of stuff, like city, local, that kind of stuff. And then like the big tentpole movies, I could see like one a quarter, one in the, or one in the winter, one in the spring, one in the, summer, one in the fall kind of thing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, for sure.
But like next year's pretty barren. Like I think I agree with you. Like it's good in a way, but like we're gonna get basically a 9-month break between movies, and then we'll have another 9-month break after the movie, or somewhat in that area, like 7 months, 8 months between movies. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. Like because they got to keep the public interest there, but they also don't want to overload, it seems. So like how do you keep people interested in what's going on in the world if nothing's happening for basically a year?
Right.
Yeah, so
sure.
I don't know. I don't know how they're
the
gonna do
thing
that.
is no one's engaged right now, and look at how much stuff there is. So
True, you're not wrong, but I mean, like just judging off of the Friday numbers, like the Marvels is gonna bomb pretty hard.
Yeah, for sure.
It's looking like it's gonna be somewhere in like 40-50 million range, which is bad for a Marvel movie. So
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like in a way, I'm not bummed about it. Like I'm excited for Deadpool 3 more than pretty much anything on the slate. So
Me too.
I'm glad that we're getting that next year. And like after, which we'll get into Loki in a bit, but like after the Loki finale, I really think that Deadpool 3 could be pretty interesting. So that's cool. But like I think DC also has almost nothing coming out next year. So it'll be
2025, right?
Well, 2025 is when the new stuff starts, but like the sequel to Joker comes out next year, the Folie à Deux or whatever the fuck they're calling it, that what's her face,
Lady Gaga
is playing Harley Quinn. But I don't know, like I love the first Joker movie, but the fact that this one's a musical makes me like almost not want to see it. So
that's fair.
I don't know, but yeah, I think those are the only like and I think what's that shitty fucking Kraven the Hunter comes out next year, I think. But
great.
Yeah, so excited.
That one.
So yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be pretty like light on Marvel or comic book heroes in general. So it'll be interesting to see if the public
we'll get some boys at the beginning of the year, and we'll get some. We'll get little bits here and there.
Little bits.
Little bitty bits.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like, I think it's needed. I think the break's good, and if you're getting something all the time, then you don't miss it, right? So, I thought during the pandemic, like after that year break or whatever the fuck it was, we were excited to see,
whatever it was. Shang-Chi.
Yeah, Shang-Chi was the first, I think.
Because Black Widow was technically the first one, but like a lot of people still didn't do movies for that.
No, it was direct to Disney Plus, basically.
Yeah, because I think I didn't even see that in movies. I think I saw that on Disney Plus only.
That's the only MCU movie I didn't see in theaters.
Me too.
Anyway, I think the break will be good, but we'll see. Are you done with what you watched? Is that it?
I am done with what I watched, except no matter how much get that shit. Sorry, Neil. I think I might be too high.
I said the more you get something, you can never miss it. And he's saying accept. Yeah. All
right, fair.
So I watched The Dark Knight to start the week.
Oh, nice.
I'm continuing on the Batman trend. Yeah, I mean, that movie's great. No shocker.
It's still good. Really good.
Then I started watching the show Fringe, which started airing in like 2009, 10. It's like a sci-fi-ish show, kind of like X-Files. I always wanted to watch it and I never got into it. And so I was like, you know what? I want a show right now. I think it's only 4 or 5 seasons long. So I watched the first 10 episodes of that. A bunch of my reality shows are still ongoing.
You like it? Is it good?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's interesting so far. I'm not far enough into it to really judge yet, but
Okay.
it's very like mystery of the week type thing. But there is like an overarching story. But like,
Okay.
it's very like it's like supernatural sci-fi in a way of like time travel and like human experimentation and like mind control and like all kinds of shit. That's like it's very X-Files ish.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah, a bunch of my reality shows I'm still watching, but I do want to call out I watched this new reality show on Prime Video called 007 Road to a Million, and it's
Okay.
like a reality show that's like all 007 themed. The writer, like owners, like of the like actual IP of 007, like basically designed
The
this like
Broccoli
reality show.
family?
Yeah, the Broccoli family. So it's like a bunch of
It
like
sounds like a joke, but it's not a joke.
no, the Broccoli family owns it. Yeah.
I love broccoli.
Who doesn't? But yeah, so it's like a group of like I think it's 10 pairs of two, and they're all doing like these like themed challenges basically to gain money. So like each challenge is worth a certain amount of money, and as they progress, the money gets more and more and more. But if you get one wrong, you're out. So it's kind of like a quiz show in that way, but they're doing like challenges on the way to each question. So like for instance, like the start, they have to climb like this giant mountain, and then they get to the top, and there's a briefcase up there with their question involved in it, and it's all like gadgety and like 007 cars, 007 locations, like through Italy and like all these like cool little places and stuff. It's a pretty cool idea, and I enjoyed like how cool it looked. The show, like for a first season of a reality show, is fine. I could definitely see like some things that could be fixed throughout, but
You learned that on the first season. That's
totally.
the thing. Yeah.
I enjoyed it for enough. Like Brian Cox is like the main like host of it, which is I think pretty big get. I love Brian
I don't know
Cox.
who that is.
Yeah, you do. He's in X2 as like the military guy.
Oh,
The
Striker?
guy, yeah, Striker.
Oh,
That's Brian Cox.
what up, SoCown Pain Apps? How's it going?
What
Neil
up?
says, anyone watch Foundation on Apple?
I have not watched it. No, I know about it, but I haven't watched it.
What is it? I don't know what it is. So
I don't know a lot about it. I've just heard of it. Like I've seen the poster and shit for it. It's a Apple TV show.
Yeah.
I'll get to it eventually because Apple's killing it with shows. But
Yeah, they be killing it. Bring me Ted Lasso. Make me cry again.
Yeah. Ted Lasso's good. Let me see. Oh, and I watched that Escaping Twin Flames doc. Not the one that you watched though. I think
The one on Netflix?
I watched the one on Netflix.
Yeah, Kate started watching it. I don't think she finished it.
That should be fucked up, dude.
Yeah, man.
People are weird, man. I don't know how you buy in on cults.
I don't get it either, but there's got to be something there that gives people.
Yeah.
Hope.
It's a bunch of desperate, lonely people that buy in on something and people manipulating them, and it's sad. But
it is sad.
And then I watched the new movie on Netflix called The Killer, which is directed by
who's in that again? That's
Michael Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender.
It's directed by the guy that did Fight Club. Fuck, my mind just went blank completely.
Fight Clubs. I don't know who did that.
Fuck! I know this. Why is it? Oh, my brain is such a broken mess.
Is it Pepe Sylvia?
It's Pepe Sylvia, yes. Fucking David Fincher. Thank you.
David Fincher.
Yeah, so it's David Fincher's new movie. It's okay. It's pretty slow for the most part. I love David Fincher's like directing style and like his the way he like shoots things, and he always, well, for the most part, gets Trent Reznor and what's his face to do the music
to score the music. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so like the music's always pretty interesting. The movie's just slow. Like I expected it to have a little bit more action in it, and it's a lot of like dialogue heavy and like it's okay, but it's not like anywhere near my favorite Fincher movie by any means. Like I think it's probably on the weaker side of what he's done, but you can tell that he has this like obsession with serial killers and stuff. Like he did that Netflix show a couple years ago that was all about was not True Detective. That was all true crime based. I can't remember what the fuck it was called, but it was all on Netflix and it was really, really good. And then he's like, I don't want to do that anymore. So he did this instead, I guess. And he's still got like serial killer themes throughout it. But I just wish he would have kept doing the show because the show was fucking awesome. He did 2 seasons of it and then he kind of bounced. So, but yeah, so that's basically it. And then a bunch of reality shows. I'm still watching Survivor and Amazing Race and fucking all these shows. But yeah, that's mostly it. So
nice.
Yeah, dude.
Another busy week.
Yeah, man. But let's get into Loki.
Let's
Spoilers for Loki.
Oh, I'm gonna put the tags up.
All right, you do that.
I'm gonna. Loki spoiler time. What did you think of Loki?
It was good. I
liked it.
I think they're getting a little too like confusing for some people. Like
totally. I can get
that. I followed it, but I was like, this is a lot. Like, if you haven't seen this show,
like, well, it'd be weird if you started on the last episode if you haven't seen this show.
No, I'm saying if you haven't seen the show at all, like if you don't watch Loki as a series, is the rest of the MCU now not going to make much sense? Because like there's a lot going on in the show where I'm like, I don't know if like come like the Avengers movies in a couple years, like this show seems like it's going to be pretty pivotal to everything that's going on.
It's interesting that you say that. Sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Apparently yesterday on Jimmy Kimmel, I think, apparently Tom Hiddleston implied that he's done playing Loki.
Well, I would say that from the finale of this, yeah.
You don't think that this would set him up to show up somewhere else when all this multiverse stuff comes to an end?
No, I assume this was the end of it.
Interesting.
I took the finale as like this was the end of the story of Loki, and then
I mean that'd be great if that was the case, because I feel like they ended his story very well.
Totally. I think that's the way I took it. Is
that's not the way I took it, so that's why I'm surprised that you're saying.
I took it as like
to me it seems he'd be pretty important as soon as we get into grander multiverse shit, especially if everything's going to come together. Then like to me in my mind I'm like, we have to at least see him again at least once more. Like, but maybe not.
To me, I took it as like he's holding all of reality together, and that was the end of his story. Like that was his redemption arc of like the guy that wanted to take over everything in Avengers and be like a supreme, like overruling king, has now decided that like he's ascended to basically be
virgins. He's good now.
Yeah, he's basically like a god of timelines, and he's just gonna be.
He's a god of time.
He's gonna be there holding everything together, and like the whole.
I mean, I got that too. I did.
The whole tree, like imagery and stuff like that, like made me think like he's like, the like foundation of.
He has to be there. He has to be there to keep everything intact.
Right, like those are his roots. That's the way he's like. But to me, like they could do not a Loki season 3, but like the TVA season 1 or something like that, where they continue on with that. Like there's, I guess that what's his face is going to be in Deadpool 3.
Mobius.
Yeah.
I heard rumors for a while now that apparently Owen Wilson's going to be in Deadpool.
Right. So my assumption is that character is going to carry on, and like to me, the interesting part of this show was like their hunt. I mean, obviously we're spoiling the show, so we'll get more into the episode, but like by the end of the show, they're talking about hunting down the Kang variants. And to me, that could be the entire storyline of Deadpool 3. Right. Is like Wolverine and Deadpool going through different timelines and hunting down Kang and just like slaughtering them, which would be hilarious and awesome.
That would be funny. Imagine they just pop out in claws.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So like they may need like Owen Wilson's character to like help them jump timelines or something like that. And that's why he's there. And then they're just going in and like slaughtering all the Kangs. And that could be like the end of Kang, in my opinion, is like Deadpool 3.
I mean, the way they ended this whole thing made me feel like they could just not have Kang show up again if they wanted.
Totally.
And it'd probably be okay. Like, so. Neil says Jonathan Majors was awesome in this. Be ashamed to lose him. And Southtown Painap said it did feel like a definite end for the show, but also a way to find a way to replace Kang just in case.
Yeah,
so,
I think
that was
I think they were giving themselves an out. Like I think
yes, I agree.
Yeah, like they could end Kang right now, and it would totally make sense.
Yeah,
they showed Victor Timely as a child, like looking at that window, waiting for like he was waiting for the book to come through the window, but like
it never does.
It never does, and so like that kind of ends his like his search for intelligence on like the whole thing, right? And then like the line from one of the TVA people was like, yeah, we had one of them make some noise in one of the timelines, but the cops took care of it, or something along those lines of like he was taken care of, and he's he's whatever. So like clearly like the Kangs don't know about each other, and like they're not trying to take over timelines or anything like that. So yeah, like I think to me like Deadpool 3, that's the storyline of Deadpool 3. As soon as I finished watching this, I was like, they're going to be hunting through the timelines, making sure that the rest of the Kangs don't come up like to know about each other, and they're just going to be killing them all off.
Yeah.
Which I think, if I've read enough like bullshit about, I mean, this I guess is kind of a brief possible spoiler for the Marvels that I haven't seen, but that the way the Marvel sets up the future of the MCU is like it's very likely that Doctor Doom's coming into play anyway. So
from the Marvels,
yeah, that like I don't want to get into too big of spoilers here, but that basically part of the Marvel storyline is right out of a comic book that sets up the beginnings of Doctor Doom.
Interesting. I mean, I don't know that because I don't know Doom that well, but
right. So
nothing really alluded to the greater universe, in my opinion, on the Marvels. But
I'm not saying it did. Like I'm saying
it's just a storyline. I get
there's a storyline arc that like is I guess taken right directly from a comic book that basically is a storyline that Doctor Doom comes into play massively later on. So the assumption being is that they are pivoting to Doctor Doom, and this was the end of Kang. But again, like I don't know if like what happens if Jonathan Majors goes to jail in January or something like that. Do they want Deadpool 3's entire story arc killing all these Kang variants and Jonathan Majors playing this major role? Like I don't know.
Right.
So how do you do that without point. I don't know.
Good point.
So maybe
I guess that's tricky, especially right now because everything's kind of in limbo waiting for stuff. So it's hard to just wait to see what happens there because you've already been waiting, right? So
and they've already filmed half the movie. So like if that is the storyline, obviously you can't pivot from that. But
yeah, kind of hard to change it at that point,
right? So I don't know. I could be completely wrong in that, but
imagine they just replaced all of Jonathan Majors with walkie-talkies.
Just big walkie-talkies with eyes.
Yep.
Yeah. So we couldn't find a visual effects studio to put this a person, but we did find a teenage kid that's good at Photoshop
an app that turns everyone's heads into walkie-talkies with googly eyes on them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no. So anyway, Loki, like I'm very curious how these characters stay within the MCU or if they do at all.
Yeah, I mean, like, to me, I would be fine if we don't see Sylvie in that. Like, I think we'll see Mobius again because I feel like we'll see more TVA before. I mean, I know we will because they've said that TVA will be part of Deadpool. So like I know that I'm sure we'll see more, but I'm fine with it. They were all part. No, I feel like these characters were all part of Loki's journey, and now that Loki's journey's kind of come to an end, or at least shifted gears, I feel like there's not really a need for them anymore. So I'm not saying that they may not play homage to them, but like again, it's one of those things that like I don't really need a finale for Sylvie. Like I don't in my mind, like the way this ended. Like, I don't think I said this yet, but like, I feel like this is the first Disney Plus show that actually like landed the ending. And it's like, okay, you actually did what you set out to do here. You like tied everything up and it's like a good ending. Yeah, exactly. And I feel like they actually did a good job. It didn't feel rushed. It didn't feel
an hour long, perfect length.
Yeah. I thought it was just like overall, I thought it was like really well done. And I was like, damn, I think this is the first time that I can say
satisfied
that they like landed it like pretty perfectly. Like, So and that's coming
Neil,
from somebody who wasn't really that into it. It's not like I didn't think it was good week to week, but it just like
yeah,
it hasn't really been catching me. And then this last week, the way they tied everything together, I was like, oh, this is like pretty good.
yeah, yeah. I don't know why, but my wireless signal is going out, so I hope I don't drop
It
off
went
this.
out a
But
little bit earlier too. Hopefully you're okay.
hmm.
But
Anyway, I felt like we don't need more Sylvie necessarily, and like Neil saying Sylvie's the worst part of Loki, and like I don't completely disagree with you. I don't think her character was well developed in this season at all. Like I think she could have been
no, not
completely
this
left out of
season.
this season, but I liked
Yeah,
her a
I
lot in the
agree.
first season.
Me too.
So
But this season she was relegated to just like an extra, like
yeah, like
basically like a step that got in the way every time we made a step.
totally. So like if she's going to carry on as a character in the MCU, like I think she'd be part of like an ensemble, like in Secret Wars or I always forget what that fucking movie's called. The other like the bad Avengers team of all those characters they're setting up there.
Yeah, Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts. Like she could be like the Loki in the Thunderbolts or something
Yeah,
like that,
totally.
where like she's using her powers and shit like that, like the God Thor type role or Loki type role in the Thunderbolts. But um yeah, like Renslayer's arc was really left up in the air, but kind of not because
I feel like
she's
that
in
last scene basically did what it was supposed to. Basically
um,
solidified her future, right? It's like he dropped her in that place where at the end of the last season where there was
the
that
end of
big
time.
monster
Yeah,
or whatever. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and
So
then
it's
you heard the
like if
roar of
she's
the
there,
monster.
yeah, I feel like it kind of wrapped it up, in my opinion. Like in my mind, I'm thinking Red Slayer's days are done.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, Loki did all that time travel just so she could work at McDonald's. Yeah, very well could be.
The thing is Sylvie could also show up if when they, because I think one of the rumors is right now for Secret Wars
Yeah,
is that they're gonna make basically like a team of like prime variants and
yeah,
like they have to go and do something. So like Sylvie could always be part of that too, right? Like because
yeah.
she could be the one helping them travel around and she knows how to get around and stuff like that, the timelines too, right? So
Now, look, like I wouldn't put it past them to bring Tom Hiddleston back as Loki. Like, if if they're talking about bringing Robert Downey Jr. and fucking what's her face back, like it would not Scarlett Johansson. Like it wouldn't surprise me that like down
yeah,
the
me
line
either.
in like Secret Wars or something, if like say the Kang storyline's finished and the timeline shit's all done and there's like one stream of timeline and they want to bring back Loki for Secret Wars or something else down the line, I totally could see Tom Hiddleston being willing to like come back. But I think personally like that the character arc is over. Like
Yeah.
it's a man that wanted to be king and now he's stuck in time doing his king like ruling
His
over the
duties.
time and like
Yeah.
he's doing it for humanity. He's learned the
Yeah.
lesson that his dad sought out to teach him. And like I think that's like a really like the character that's gotten the most conclusive ending almost out of all of them. That would be amazing. I want McDonald's to bring back the Hamburglar and Ronald McDonald and all that.
And the Fry Kids
Yeah,
and
and
Grimace.
bring back Sylvie as one of them. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be good. Grimace. She can be Grimace.
Fuck yeah. I don't
She's
know.
a
To me,
skinny version of Grimace.
I think Loki's gotten like the best character arc like throughout the entire MCU. Like
He
maybe
does have a
Robert
good
Downey
one.
Jr.'s Iron Man too, but like I
You have
just
to
feel
remember this is a different Loki than the
sure.
one that's lived through a lot of this stuff. But
But
yes,
even through Loki, like the show
yes,
Loki, like he
hmm
started as this angry, kind of like cocky fucking I want to be king. I'm a god. I want to be powerful. And then like
yeah. Do you know who
he's
you're talking about?
right. And he's learned his lessons. And
Yeah,
like I feel like that's like the most interesting character arc throughout the show. Like it's showing like a 180-degree change of him and like I don't know. I really liked it. Like I think Robert Downey Jr.'s character got a fun finality, great final arc too. But like I don't know, like
this is satisfying. It's
yeah, it
good.
was satisfying and like I liked the character and it made me think like I know IGN wrote a piece about is Loki the most like the best part of the MCU? Like is he the best character in the MCU? And I'm like he very well could be. Like
He's
I love
definitely up there.
yeah. I loved his
Yeah,
character arc. I think just showing the difference between Avengers and now it's like wow. What a journey! Like, what a long journey too. Like, he's been in so many movies.
Yep, totally.
So I don't know. I'll miss Tom Hiddleston if this is the end, but like,
Yeah, but he wrapped it up nice
he
though.
wrapped it up really well, and they really. I'm surprised that Disney let them wrap up Loki like that. Like,
Yeah, yeah. That's good though. They need to start putting some definitive ends on some of these characters if they want people to give a shit about other ones.
well, and this is what we've been saying for fucking years now. Is like, there's so many characters hanging in the balance, and it's nice
Yeah,
to kind of end one and be like,
yeah,
he's fine.
yeah.
Like, your toy still exists, and I love that he got his horns back and like
Me
the
too.
cape and everything back.
That
Like, I was like,
costume at the end was great. I was like, oh man, that
awesome.
looks like a comic book costume. That's great.
Totally, totally. And like, you can still have your toys, and he still exists. And like, if you're a huge Loki fan, well, great, he's still there, and he's doing it
Yep.
for you. You know, like,
Yeah.
And this is what I mean when I say like, don't bring back dead characters, because like they
Yeah.
had their time, they had their arc. Like,
Yeah. Why ruin that?
don't taint that. Yeah.
Yeah, especially Widow. You got to think like even with how Widow died, man, she died for the greater good, right? She
Totally.
sacrificed. Bringing her back would erase that. Like
Totally.
same
And
with Tony. So
yeah. Like, I do think at some point we're gonna get Tony's daughter doing something.
that's the last thing I need to have.
Just again, I know this from shit I've seen online, but like, because there's spoilers everywhere for fucking the Marvels, so just beware. If you don't want to know anything, like the internet is a fucking minefield right now. But like, I could totally see Tony's daughter being a part of the Young Avengers at some point.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
She's aged up to 15 or something like that. She's got her dad's armor.
But then where does Riri land in that case then, right? Like,
I agree, but
2 Iron Girls.
I don't think she's going to be a part of this world. I honestly think that they're going to leave a lot of these characters just
out. Yeah, that's good. Again, you don't really need to definitively give endings to all these characters, especially if they were minor characters to begin with. Put them on the side, and if there's a use for them down the road, then there you go.
But I also think they run the fear of every lead character being female. And fair. I don't necessarily think that's a wise decision when people are already saying it's like, quote unquote, too woke.
Yeah. But I mean, they can't play to that. I mean, at the
they
end
can't.
Of the day,
but like, okay, if it's like Miss Marvel and fucking, what's her face that I always forget from Hawkeye,
Kate Bishop,
and fucking like, there's all these female lead characters. You got She-Hulk now. You got fucking
Ironheart. I mean,
Ironheart
she's not a character, but I mean, there's all the
Black Panther is now a female.
There's basically female versions of all the characters now.
Right. So it's like, do you really want like the next Avengers movie being like 10 female leads? Like, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I think you need some variation in your characters, and like, you run the risk of every character kind of being the same thing,
especially because they're all just like clones of a male version.
Totally. They have the same power sets, they have the same like costumes almost, like it's like So I think they do run the risk of that, but like, I don't know, I do see Tony's daughter coming back into play at some point,
maybe.
And like Ant-Man's daughter there, what's her face?
I don't know if Iron Lad was in Young Avengers. I'm not really a big Young Avengers fan, so
neither am I. I don't know enough. I don't know a lot about Young Avengers, but
yeah. I didn't notice. I didn't see this. Neil says that's what happens when Hulk grabs your foot and plays whack-a-mole with you. You switch sides.
Totally.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, no, overall, I really like Loki. I thought it was good. And that says a lot because, like I said, every single week.
You're kind of out.
I just don't care. I don't care. And I feel like this was a good step in that direction, too, because I feel like it's kind of like them being like, okay, we're trying to work on this here. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah.
To me, if they were smart, honestly, at the end of what's the show coming out in January that nobody gives a shit about? Echo. The end of Echo, there'd be
at the end of Echo, they're just like, we're just kidding. This is all irrelevant.
At the end of Echo, there should be a end credit tag that like shows like a massive like disruption in the timelines or something like that. That like sends out a reason of why they're going to take like a massive break. Like, there should be a storyline reason for like the break of like a year. And I think
That'd
that
be
would be
cool.
really interesting of like, okay, we're going to set up Deadpool 3 and they're going to be cutting through timelines and jumping to timelines, but it works for Deadpool because he's such like a break the third wall narrative character. And after that, like if there's another tag at the end of Deadpool 3 that gives a reason of like, oh, this break is still ongoing or whatever, I think it would totally make sense. And then it sets up like the next phase of everything going on.
Yeah.
But that's my dream world. Yes, Southdown. They found out
Neil
he was
says
young
yes.
Kang.
There you go.
Okay.
Iron Lad was young Kang, and they ran his ass out.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, to me, the next storylines should be like the main grouping of Avengers that we have left. Like, there needs to be a Spider-Man 4. There needs to be another Doctor Strange.
More Shang-Chi.
There needs to be a Shang-Chi too.
Even if it's not Shang-Chi 2, even if it's some kind of a team up, I don't care. I just want to see more of him. I like his character.
So do I, and I think Awkwafina was like great character
funny
in that movie. So yeah, like that would be my 3 that I would lead with, I think. Doctor Strange, Spider-Man.
Yeah, same here. And Shang-Chi.
And Shang-Chi. But I guess Shang-Chi and Doctor Strange kind of have the same magical power set. But and then I don't know. I guess the new Captain America and Black Panther, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
I mean, the thing is at this point, if you build another Avengers team, it's not going to be as good as the first one. Because I mean, we still have Hulk and we still have Thor too. So.
Yeah, but do you really want to bring in Smart Hulk? It's kind of annoying.
I would love World War Hulk eventually. I feel like
that's what I want.
Yeah, where he goes fucking ape shit and like that'd be great. Maybe they'll set that up in Captain America.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
To me, like the way they should do that is fucking what's her face?
Betty gets died. Betty gets killed.
And like use Harrison Ford as her father, like in that role or whatever. Kill her off, kill Harrison Ford off. Like have like some crazy thing happen, and then
Hulk. You can't kill Harrison Ford off because you want him to be Red Hulk.
Yeah, that's true. But and then just go ape shit. Like
Hulk goes ape shit. Give us World War Hulk. Yes, that'd be great.
That'd be amazing. Yeah,
I love that. Suntown Pain App says, do y'all think Thunderbolts movie plot will involve why they need to get an Avengers team since the rumor is Sentry will appear, so it'll be a reason to get the Avengers back? Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, there's so many rumors going on that Thunderbolts may not even be happening now. So
yeah. I mean, the thing that sucks about that is like I love the idea of it, but the thing I don't love about it is it's like all of the toss away characters that no one really cares about, which I guess I understand is kind of the point, but
I also think that movie could be badass if like almost like Suicide Squad type deal where like these characters can all be killed off and nobody really cares. Yeah. Like you don't have this huge built up attachment to it. You could do it in a comedic way of like really like gory, like fucked up ways of dying and killing off all these characters. Yeah, and I'd be totally fine with it. Like I think that was the best part for me of the second Suicide Squad, like James Gunn Suicide Squad movie is like they all just got fucking annihilated and it didn't matter and it was funny and like the movie starts with like main characters getting killed off. And it's like, this is great. The fact that like they officially said Deadpool's rated R and what was Blade is also going to be rated R.
Yeah.
So like to me that movie could be rated R and you could totally just slaughter the team and like we don't need these characters back. Like
true.
And that story arc there.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I wouldn't be against it.
But yeah, I don't know. Like I don't know if that'd be a part of it. Like they obviously want to build up to the Avengers movie, so like it wouldn't surprise me if there's plot lines in there that it's like, well, this is why we need the Avengers is because these guys are a bunch of assholes that like clearly couldn't work together. They're all egomaniacs and like there was no cohesion as a team and that's why they all died at the end of the movie. And so like we need the real Avengers back. Something like that. I don't know.
Yep. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool.
But clearly you're going to get two original Avengers teams or 2 new Avengers teams, right? Like there's going to be one for Secret Invasion and there's going to be one for Kang Dynasty or whatever the fuck they're calling it.
So. Yeah.
That's true. Original Thunderbolt storyline is amazing. They should just follow it and introduce all new villains to the MCU. Well, I think they should move into mutant villains. Like in my
That'd be
opinion,
great.
that's where they should be building towards. Is like Doctor Doom should be obviously the next step to build up Fantastic Four, but
He's not a mutant, but yeah.
no, I'm not saying he is. I'm saying like build that as a villain for Fantastic Four, and then build up mutants for X-Men storylines.
That'd be great. I'd love to start getting. There's so many good X-Men villains.
Totally. And then like that's where the next villain age phase of whatever needs to come from is like
yeah,
in my opinion. But
yeah, that'd be cool. I'd be down with that.
And then like you build into the space shit with X-Men eventually down the line of like, you know, Phoenix fucking.
They can take their sweet ass time with that shit. They can just pump those brakes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's like phase 6, phase 7.
You can wait good 10 years before I'm ready to see X-Men in space again. I'm good.
If the MCU even exists by then.
Yeah, totally.
Also, like, I guess I didn't think of this either, but we're definitely going to get fucking Guardians of the Galaxy people back too, as Avengers people at some point.
I mean, I'd love to see it, but I don't know.
You're definitely going to get Groot and Rocket.
True. You might get Star-Lord too.
I think you'll get Star-Lord. The rest I can't see. I doubt. But
yeah, I can't either.
Maybe
I don't think you'll see Yeah, maybe.
Maybe Mantis, but like obviously
the thing is Mantis on her own is not really that exciting.
Yeah,
so
it's
like
she needs
Yeah.
But I definitely think you'll see Groot and Rocket in one of the Avengers movies.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be against it.
And then obviously Miss Marvel or one of them is going to be a part of it too, but yeah, no, I don't know. I think you're right with Loki. Like I think it was a good ending to the show. It's definitely the most cohesive show they've done.
Yeah.
And yeah, like the second season overall was like probably a little bit shaky to start, and then like it had its ups and downs, but overall like I loved Obi.
Not shaky, just uninspired.
Yeah, but a little bit shaky where it's like where exactly is this like leading to, and like it feels like it was kind of meandering a little bit. Like Neil said, like Sylvie was kind of very underutilized or not well written at all, but like I loved Obi, I loved Mobius and Loki's chemistry, and like I think they ended Loki in a really good place, and to me, like just leave Loki alone now.
Yeah,
it's
I
been
would be okay with that.
15 years of Loki, like we're good.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
I would also like to see how like Thor deals with that, you know.
Yeah, totally.
Like if
I think that we will eventually see him come back at least
for
to deal with Thor. Yeah.
I kind of thought at the end of Loki we might get a Thor cameo or something, but
yeah.
Like when he was jumping in time and stuff, like I thought we might get like a goodbye to his brother type thing of like, you know, I learned my lessons because of you or something like that, because of you and Dad.
Maybe we'll get it in one of the Avengers movies when Thor is back to whatever, right? Maybe they'll wrap up his story there too, and
yeah, I could see that happening in Thor 5 too, is like if they do another Thor movie of like this is the end of Thor, and like really wrap up that character arc of like him learning his lessons, him like his relationship with Loki, and like, you know, dealing with the loss of both his parents and all that stuff. Like I could see that really being
with everybody, with his whole fucking family.
Well, that, and like now that he has a son or whatever, like
daughter, I think, right?
Or I don't remember. I honestly don't remember that movie almost at all. But daughter, sure, another female character of baby Thor. You could see that kind of being like the almost like what they did with The Last of Us and stuff, of like this guy that was an angry god becoming like, you know, an angry father, and then learning the lessons of being a dad again, kind of thing. God of War, like all these things. But yeah, anyway, I think it was good. I'm glad we appreciated it, and we got a good show out of the mix, and I'm excited to talk about the Marvels next week.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what you think about the Marvels. I mean, you know, generally speaking, I'm usually a bit more forgiving with MCU stuff, especially when I'm like in it. But I think the reason it surprises me that I gave it such a break this time is because like I've been so harsh as of late, but it was good enough. What did he say? Oh shit!
Whoa!
Sorry, that was my alarm going off. Or let's please this podcast by having Joe Rogan be the villain of Secret Wars and every hero and their variant kill him over and over. Oh,
I would love that.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, you could have Joe Rogan as a villain in anything. Fucking hate that fuck. Yeah, no, I agree with you, and like, I don't know. I'm excited to see it. My hype level's not out of this world though. Like,
keep it there.
Yeah, it's just
keep it
there. It has made me, after finishing Loki, kind of want to go back and rewatch Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness and
nice
Ant-Man Quantumania, just because of all the multiversal shit.
Yeah.
So I might do that this week just before I go see the Marvels, just because of everything. I don't know, it kind of all ties together. And I haven't watched this movie since theaters, so
nice.
I
think I watched some of Ant-Man and I turned it off, but
I definitely haven't seen Doctor Strange since theaters.
I've watched Doctor Strange at least once, maybe twice.
And I quite
like Doctor Strange.
I don't remember a lot of that movie, to be completely honest with you.
No, I quite like Doctor Strange like a lot. I thought it was really good.
And I definitely didn't go back to Quantumania, but like I remember a lot of that movie anyway. But I think I might watch both those this week. We'll see.
Nice.
And then so next week we'll talk about the Marvels next Saturday, and after that we don't know. It's going to be a mystery topics for the rest of the year. So
yep.
Figure it out week by week. If anybody has any show ideas, you can always reach out to us on Instagram or leave a comment on YouTube at Moose Smoke Media or at Customs by Matthew. We're always happy to hear any viewers' ideas for shows or anything people would like us to talk about. As long as it's realistic and not, nothing crazy. Like, hey, watch 12 seasons of this and comment on it. It's like, well, we don't got that kind of time. But
nope, we don't.
A movie or a show or an album or anything like that, we're always happy to watch something new. So, but yeah, you can follow us at Moose Smoke Media and at Customs by Matthew on Instagram and YouTube. You can grab the podcast on any podcast service you want. And that's going to do it for this week. We'll catch you back here next week. We appreciate all of you for watching us. And that's it. Stay safe.
Don't forget to tip your waiter.
Tip your waiter, tip your penis. Goodbye.
Tip your wiener with your wiener. What?
I don't know.
Okay.
All right.
On that note,
cover 23 seasons of Grey's Anatomy, please. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. We're not doing that. Sorry, Neil. Not happening.
On it, Neil. On it.
Okay, Matt's going to do that for you. I'm not going to do that for you. Later, Neil. Appreciate you.
See you guys. Have a good night. Have a good week. Yep, we'll see you guys soon.
Bye.